planet Earth never runs out of water. And how does water move from one place to the next on this planet? Well, that's all thanks to the water cycle. How does it work and what are the parts? We dive into all that right now. So the water cycle is a natural process which explains how water moves and is recycled on planet Earth. Now, water cycles vary. They can be either very short and simple or very long and complex. Today, we are going to learn about the basic or simple water cycle. But before we get into that, I want to give you a few facts about water on planet Earth, specifically where it is, or where most of it is, because that is really going to help you get a better understanding of the water cycle as a whole. So first things first, the Earth is mostly water. Look at that thing. It's blue. Around 71% of the Earth is covered in water. Of the water on planet Earth, almost all of it, 97%, is salt water, which we can't drink, which is some kind of sick joke. That means the remaining 3% of total water is fresh water, or water that humans can drink. But it gets a little crazier because we don't actually have access to most of that water. A lot of it, or 69%, is frozen in ice caps and glaciers. Give me that water. Give me it. 30% of Earth's fresh water is groundwater, which means it's under the ground. That means only 1% of Earth's total fresh water is in lakes, rivers, and streams. Okay, so now that you know where most of Earth's water is, let's talk about how it moves and is recycled on planet Earth. What makes that happen? You guessed it, it's the water cycle. At least I hope you guessed it. If you didn't guess it, to be honest, you can't come to my birthday party. I'm just kidding. You can come to my birthday party. All are welcome. It means I get more presents. So Earth's water cycle makes sure that we never run out of water on planet Earth. It recycles it so that it can be used again and again and again. We have roughly the same amount of water on planet Earth right now as we did when the dinosaurs were here. That's a dinosaur. It's a terrible dinosaur. You could be drinking the same water as a Stegosaurus or a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The same is true for history. You could be drinking the same water as Abraham Lincoln, or Julius Caesar, or anybody else really in history. So how does the water cycle work? Well, that's actually kind of an interesting question because like I said, water cycles vary. There's no one start or stop place for a water cycle. But for the purpose of this video, we are going to start our journey as a water droplet.
We're water droplets. I'm a water droplet.
I don't know why I use that voice. That is not probably the voice of a water droplet. Could be. So these droplets go through cycles that vary in complexity and length. Some can last hours or even less. Some cycles can last hundreds or even more years. We're all different in our own way. So we're going to talk today about the simple water cycle, and we are going to start that where most water is, in the ocean. So we are a droplet of water in the ocean, and along comes our boy, the sun, to provide some warmth. Once a water droplet is warmed enough, it goes through the first stage in our cycle, which is evaporation, where it turns from liquid water into a gas, pardon me, known as water vapor. Once in the atmosphere, the water vapor, the gas, rises because it is warmer and warm air rises. Eventually, that water will rise enough where it gets to the upper part of our atmosphere, and it will begin to cool. Once the water cools enough, it will go into our second step in the water cycle, condensation. Condensation is the process by which water vapor goes from a gas to a liquid, and those liquid droplets form up together to form clouds. Ooh, that looks nice. I want to sleep on it. Condensation doesn't just happen when clouds form. It happens any time that warm water vapor in the air comes into contact with a cooler surface. You see this a lot in the summertime. If you bring out an ice-cold drink and it's warm outside, all of a sudden you have droplets of water on the outside of your glass. No, your glass is not sweating. That is condensation. You see it a lot in the winter as well, with windows fogging, and if you're somebody like me who wears glasses, after being outside for a while, you come inside and your glasses just completely fog up. That's 2 out of the 3 main parts of the simple water cycle done. Now, how does our water get back to Earth's surface? Well, the answer is the third and final part of our simple water cycle, called precipitation. So eventually enough water droplets group together in a cloud that it starts to become way too heavy, and it must fall back down to Earth as precipitation. Now, precipitation can come in many different forms depending on the weather in that area or how warm or cold it is. Precipitation could be rain. Singing in the rain. I don't really know anyone who sings in the rain. I feel like that is dangerous. And also wet. Snow. Sleet, which is like freezing rain and really painful and not fun at all. And hail, which is like frozen ice that falls from the sky. So that's the simplest water cycle, everyone. Again, when you get older, you will learn different parts of the water cycle. This was just the very basics of it. There's other parts like sublimation and all that kind of stuff, which you'll learn as you get older. To recap, remember, water cycles can vary in their length and complexity. They can be either very short, lasting only a few hours, or very long. Sometimes water droplets get stuck in ice in Antarctica and they're there for thousands of years. Evaporation is the process that when liquid water is heated enough, it turns from a liquid into a gas. When water evaporates, it goes into the atmosphere. Condensation is a process by which water vapor, a gas, turns back into a liquid, forming clouds. Now this is still in the atmosphere. Precipitation is how water gets back to the Earth's surface, and it can be either in the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. So that's a little bit about Earth's water and the simple water cycle, everyone. It's really cool. And just remember, you could be drinking the same water as your favorite celebrity at some point in your life, which is pretty neat. See you next time.